Lead us with this next activity.
Okay, we're going to be doing the group activity hot buttons. So, for when we're dealing with challenging behaviors, we really... Okay, guys. So this is a great activity to have lots of discussion. We just want to remember that we need to look at our own behaviors when we are wanting to change a child's behavior, because many times we just need to change our own behavior first. So back on the individual reflection activity you did, you thought about adults that made positive impacts in your life. I want you guys to keep that in mind when we're doing our hot button activity. We're going to go over these questions, and do you guys have any questions? Like, what is a hot button? Does everybody understand hot buttons?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. I know my coachees do. Okay, what are your hot buttons? Just yell them out. The tapping? Which is funny because tap and talk is a skill we teach.
Tap and talk.
The tapping to get your
Excessive tapping. It's not tap and touch is one.
Like your own kids too.
running inside. What? Running in the classroom. You guys are going to hear comments that don't bother you, but then other things drive you crazy. Yeah, Carrie. What tantrum? Lying.
Oh, the same question.
Constant interruption.
Interrupting.
Not sitting still.
Wiggly.
Yeah,
Not
wiggly
sitting.
for like circle time and stuff.
What was that? Just so
Wiggly.
What I'm doing.
Screaming. Screaming as loud as they can. What? Hitting. You're ignoring?
Yeah.
Stop.
Not listening for an answer.
Not listening.
For like an answer. Like when they ask you questions and they don't listen for your
Same question over and over.
Can I eat my pretzels? Can I eat my pretzels? Yes, I told you 5 minutes ago you couldn't eat your pretzels. Ask me a similar question.
This with one of these.
This tiny one. The cootie catcher. White. I picked a color. I was thinking my cereal wrap pyramid.
Okay. Oh.
Did you have to answer my question? You're supposed to ask yes or no question first.
Seems like a normal.
Just cover it. Carrie, disrespect. Fighting.
Fighting.
Bedtime. Nap time. That can be huge hot button.
My hot button.
Yes.
I wouldn't be.
Not napping.
Really?
Definitely not in hot button in my head like
No.
that.
I would.
Rubbing backs.
Hold them in place.
And you can't be on your phone.
Is that list covered? Anything else you guys like to ask?
Yeah, sorry. Nope, I can put it on there.
So, how do these affect your relationships with children?
You lose your patience.
You lose your patience. What'd you say, Dan?
Said my fuse gets
Your
shorter, so
fuse
it's the
is
same
shorter with these triggers.
You're distant.
You're more distant. Exactly.
Sometimes if you think something's going on and you weren't actually there for it, you just start tattling, you'll accuse that kid, and it might not even be that kid.
Right. Yeah, exactly. That's a tough one. Especially with the challenging kids, they get accused for a lot more than they necessarily should.
Camp counselor.
What? Majorly affects your attitude. Can't be the best you.
How about, how does it impact what you think about a family when a child is resistant to one of these?
It depends
Makes
how
you judge
receptive
them.
they are to you.
So if you already have a relationship with the family,
Well, or if you feel like you can have a communication and they're actually listening to you and you see them implementing, even if the behavior is not like gone, it's like, well, at least they're trying. I'm not ignoring you. Well, personal, I feel.
okay.
Well, I have a weird situation because I have a family who's really like responsive and I have a really good relationship with them, but like the child has a lot of siblings, so the parents are always like, well, boys, boys, and so I feel like I feel like they do try, but at the same time, I feel like they're also kind of overwhelmed because they have a lot of kids that they're trying to control. So it's kind of, they're kind of like, well, we can't be there every second, so whatever happens, happens. And I'm like, okay. I don't really know what to say, so.
Yeah, that's tough.
I think it makes you very judgmental. You may not even know the family, and when the kid's just irritating, you're, God, what are these parents doing? You know, it just makes you maybe have a different view on them,
Right.
and you don't even know them, or their situation, or what's going on at home.
Exactly.
Sharing that.
Yeah, it's being honest too. How do these also affect your relationships with your coworkers?
I think I had a couple kids last year that used to hit, well, both my coworker in my room and myself. And it was, we got to the point where it's like, okay, you need to do this now because I've got to go. And so that was really nice because we could tell, we knew each other's buttons and which one was going to be pushing, and we could just kind of go, okay, I got this one. And then they could go deal with the other end of the room or whatever. And so that was one good thing is, you know, we've been doing this enough that, you know, we were in there long enough to know that we know what buttons are being pushed, and it could just be, we looked up at nap time and went, switch. And we would just have to switch kids just because we needed to, with whatever that child was doing or whatever. And, you know, yeah, my coworkers were really good about it.
That's a great strategy and great communication to have with your coworkers. I know when I taught in the classroom, that was something I always was like, you need to take care of yourself. If you need 5 minutes, go. Like, you need that time to calm down from some of these. Because you cannot, just like a kid can't listen when they're up here, you can't deal with a kid when you're up here. Like,
I think one thing is you know your hot buttons as well.
yeah, exactly. You need to know your own.
Recognize that that's a hot button. You seek help for yourself as to how you're going to handle that.
And if you know that something is a hot button for yourself, but it's not for your co-teacher or whoever else is in the room, then that's a great opportunity to let the person who doesn't have that hot button be the one to deal with that behavior.
But if you don't have the opportunity of working with someone in your classroom, just really understanding your hot button, talking, I mean, we can give you some great tools and strategies to like work specifically on those hot buttons. So if you guys want to come talk to us later, too.
To not be afraid to ask. Like you said, for 5 minutes. If you're in the classroom by yourself and you're done, that's, Jennifer Kennedy, get down here. I need you to take this kid for a walk for a little bit. Just, it gives you, I don't know, give yourself permission
Yeah.
to do that too before you.
You need to take care of yourself. yourself. There's a really great website, I talked about it last time, the website for mental health for early childhood. Oh, it's right over there. They have some really cool tools and strategies dealing with stress from working with children. And it's something we deal with on a daily basis. So I highly recommend going and just exploring that website. They have some great team stuff you can do with your whole staff, or just want like individual stress relievers when you're in the classroom.
I know, I wanted to say something on that too, because we can also rely on our coworkers for that, but we also have to, I don't know, that's kind of hard to say, but we have to remember they may not see that kid in those behaviors or feel the same way you do about
Right.
that child, and that might cause a little rift between coworkers if you're just constantly, oh my gosh, this kid is just tapping me all day long. And, you have to understand that your coworker that's my favorite kid in the world,
Right.
and you don't want to cause that kind of an issue between you and your coworker. Because it could, then again, it might not, They might not like to hear about it all the time.
Or your coworker might start tapping you all the time.
Just wait, Kathleen.
Would anybody like to add anything before we continue? That was an awesome conversation. Okay. So kids like essential caregiving characteristics. So the next two slides are talking about the essential caregiving characteristics. The first one is response quality. That is how quickly you respond and appropriately you respond to a child. Jane talked about that crying child, baby, infant. How quickly do you go to pick them up? A kid is sad or hurt in your classroom, and it's not an appropriate moment to ignore. Like, he is hurt, and he does need attention.
Yeah.
Synchrony. Synchrony, the reciprocal and rewarding. This is when let's say you're holding an infant and you're looking into their eyes, and then they are looking back in your eyes, and you can feel that feeling that they have, and it shows on your face, and they can see it. It's that reciprocal joy. Did I get it?
It's rewarding to both.
It's rewarding.
Enjoying it.
Yeah.
Mutuality. Joint attention. I think I even heard someone talk about that during the icebreaker. And that's when, you're playing with a child and you're sharing attention on a toy together, right? God, I shouldn't be saying that. I'm sorry. Positive attitudes or positive affect towards children. We all, I know from experience, what we bring to the classroom is infectious in the children. And vice versa. Stimulation, play and encouragement.
Just the whole idea of, we don't want kids just sitting there doing nothing. We want to be playing with them, engaging with them, encouraging them to be interacting with their environment. So basically, we want them to be stimulated.
And support. How available are you to the children? Any questions over the characteristics? We'll be giving some strategies too. So this is to go back to session 4 when we talked about temperament and attachment. We have to remember that temperament and attachment affect the relationship that we build with children. So really understanding our own temperament, understanding children's temperament, and that, just like I said earlier, we need to change our behavior. We need to adjust to children. We can't expect them to change. The handouts, 5.2 A and B, are what works for each attachment. They're an excellent resource in your handouts. I'm a huge fan. These are from the Shuffle website. So the first one is like a little article, and then the second one is just a synopsis, highlights from the article. They're great resources for as teachers, working with families. So what is attachment? This comes right out of that What Works brief. Attachment refers to the continuing and lasting relationships that young children form with one or more adults. Attachment refers especially to one aspect of the adult-child relationship, the child's sense of security and safety when in the company of a particular adult. Okay, we're going to be watching 3 different videos. And I want you to really focus on what you notice about the interactions and the essential caregiving characteristics in each of the 3 videos. So each of these videos are an example of responsive caregiving. And we'll just jump right in. This first video we're going to be watching of this adult and baby. There. And we're going to quickly talk about what we see. Oh. What happened?
The big red barn. Oh, it's much nicer. It's much nicer. It's very heavy. We're getting so strong. What's in here? Oh, you like the cat corner? Yum, yum. I got a big red barn. Where is it? By the big red barn in the great green field. Oh, it's just no fun if I'm not chewing on it. Oh, so much better. That's so much better. Do you want to read another one?
Probably
What did you notice about the interaction between the adult and child?
They were laughing and they were communicating. She was talking and then the baby kind of babbled back.
Hi, Carrie.
She was letting the child lead stories.
Yeah,
Almost like doing
definitely.
what the child
Yeah, let the child make the choice of the book in its mouth. So this next video we're going to be watching, again, observe how they're interacting, and we will, why do I keep doing that, Jan?
Can you open the rest? Can you do that? Yeah. Yay. Good job. Can you open it like that? I think you got it. Almost. Almost. Here, keep trying. Here, ready? Can I help you? Can Mama help? Okay. Okay. Almost, almost. Do you want Mama help? Okay, yay. Here, I'll hold this. Okay, go ahead. Got it? Almost, almost. Almost. Here. Got it?
What did you guys see in this movie? Little clip. patience.
She encouraged independence.
Encouraging independence.
Instead of doing it for her, she kind of just encouraged her, and then when she really needed help, she didn't take it away.
Yeah.
She let the girl hold it together.
I mean, very much independent, or patience through that. I mean, I was up there even. She, yeah, I showed the excitement that the child succeeded. Encouragement. Do you guys notice any strategies she used?
I just felt like she was a lot more directive with her words compared to the last parent who was like, let's go with the flow.
Yeah,
You're cheering on the book, let's do that.
definitely supporting her language.
Instead of just like jumping in and helping, she like asked. Instead of just being like, okay, like let's do this.
Asked if she needed help
Asked what the child wanted her to do to help.
and listened. She was really good at wait time too.
Really good.
Really good. I was like over there with anxiety. Okay, this last clip, we're going to be watching the caregiver with another child.
I was thinking we could have a slumber party or a slumber party.
Oh, that sounds like fun. I used to have those when I was little.
Wow.
Pajama parties. Yeah, we'd have pizza and stuff, you know.
We used to have pizza. I had pizza at the center.
At the center?
Yep.
Is it from the pizza place or does the lady make it?
The lady making. We would watch the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't see that. How is it?
Great. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Can you tell me about the story? Because I don't know anything about it, because I don't have little kids at home to watch this stuff. So you all have to tell me what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you about the stuff eating
Okay, go
and
ahead.
toys.
What happened?
They are copying you by the house area and the block area and the computer and writing area and the painting area and
We don't have art now, remember? That's our studio. Is that the after-school place you go to?
yeah, and they got sand and they copy the doors we got
But whose is better, this class or the after-school?
this class.
Why?
Because I like it when Janelle was there and Rita and Miss Ellie.
Okay. So what do you do there? What do you do there?
Well, let me tell you the stuff they got.
What do they got?
They got red, blue, green, and some more planks and bowls.
Yeah?
The same cups.
Yeah, oh, so they don't use paper when they eat? They have regular cups and stuff? Yeah?
For the house area.
Oh, they have the same ones as us?
Yup. They copy you with everything. And the other one, computer work, and the other one didn't work.
Well, that one computers, we're gonna try to get it fixed, I'm gonna ask, okay? Because it's hard to wait your turn, huh? Who's over there on the rug? And Miss Bella?
Miss Bella and Miss Elizabeth.
Oh. So, but you have a good time there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? I don't think they're really copying us. I think they know what children like to play with. So they have the same stuff. What's your favorite thing there?
I'll tell you what's my favorite toy.
What's your favorite toy?
Play-Doh with my teacher, Miss Ellie.
Oh, what about the after school? What do you like there?
I like to play with Kelly and Claudia.
Oh, so you made new friends already?
Yeah.
Oh, I think that's because you're a wonderful little girl, huh? Had they been there for a long time?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they helped you out with like the rules and stuff?
Yeah.
Or do they have the same rules as us?
Yeah.
Same?
The old ones.
The old ones?
And they try to copy us with the brand new ones too.
Yeah, do you remember when we talked about if someone copying you, that means they must like what you're doing, so it's okay? So they must think that we're really good here, huh? Yeah, you think so?
Okay, what did you guys observe in this video?
She was super engaged in the child.
Yeah,
Very
engaged.
I don't know. She had a lot of. She was just really into everything she was saying. Her expression.
Yeah. Scary.
Yeah, I was just going to say that she was really uncomfortable sitting in that chair, but yet she doesn't want to be
Yeah.
One person didn't dominate the conversation, they were both conversing and they were balanced.
Very balanced conversation. Very engaged with each other.
Teachable moments too. She was talking about, just because they're copying us must mean it's something we like.
Yeah.
So trying not to make it sound like it's bad thing.
Using teachable moments. You guys observe anything else?
I remember the first time I saw this, I was still teaching in a classroom, and I was envious of how undivided her attention was. And I had kind of told myself that I would try to have at least one conversation with a kid like that each day, just because it's always so fragmented. And I still think that when I see it. Meanwhile, what's happening behind her?
I do want to point out one thing. Oh, did somebody? Point out one thing, because this is an amazingly positive interaction. We just want to remember that questions are considered bucket dumpers, and that they are considered a negative. So she was asking a lot of questions, and to allow, remember that 5-to-1 positive to negative ratio. Communication is key. I heard so many of you guys talk about this. We've been talking about it for the last couple of sessions. Learning to understand what children are communicating, listening to what it means. That is excellent. Oh, is this my slide? Am I jumping on your slide?
Hey, Carrie.
Oh, I'm
Can I
totally
have
jumping on someone
a
else's
quick
slide.
question for you?
Yeah.
How come questions are such bucket dumpers?
Yeah. I was wondering that.
Excellent question. Because asking a kid a question, especially testing questions, if you know they know it, then why are you asking it? And it puts stress on them, like if I'm going to get it wrong or right. What are the other?
Well, it goes from using your left brain to using your right brain.
Yeah.
And so it makes them think that they're doing something wrong. So they start questioning their own abilities. So like that's why I wonder, I wonder why, what's going on here? Because when they hear a question, they automatically think that they're doing something wrong. And parents and adults typically communicate through questions. Do you catch yourself? Communicate through children.
Yeah. Yeah, and also just like giving open-ended comments, like tell me about this instead of what did you draw, and really learning to rephrase what you're saying, but still requiring the same information. Exactly. It was balanced, and they were both speaking the same amount, but the adult was directing the conversation instead of letting the child direct it.
Did everybody get one of these handouts?
If you haven't seen this handout, communication is the key. It's an excellent way of really looking at how to reframe language.
Depending on children.